first bye week you have. Kind of explain what you guys did and how that was different.
Yeah, I mean, the first bye week, I think we were looking for some solutions to some problems going for the remainder of the season. This bye week, I think we've kind of found our groove, what we're doing offensively and defensively. So a lot of it was just about tightening that stuff up and kind of doing some self-scout things that we wanted to, just look at and try to get corrected, and some things that hurt us in the first 5 games, and hopefully we can eliminate some of that stuff, moving forward in the next 6.
Would it be safe to say Wofford's flying under the radar a bit right now, getting some votes in the top 25? We'll see what happens when the polls come out. Do you like kind of not being the topic of conversation all the time and playing without that weight?
Yeah, I think it's I don't mind that at all. I think we've kind of learned to embrace some of the higher expectations that were on us. But, right now where we're at, we don't pay a lot of attention to what's going on the outside and the votes that we're getting. I think we understand we're a really good football team, and I think we have the ability to become even better as the season goes on and really play our best football here towards the end of October and into November. I think our guys believe that. And so whatever's being said on the outside really doesn't matter too much, but it is kind of nice just to be focused on you and kind of what you're doing and where you're going.
Western Carolina, the book on them right now is dangerous offense, struggling on defense. What pitfalls do they present on either side of the ball?
Well, I think anytime you've got a quarterback, you've got a chance to win a lot of games, and I think they've got a good quarterback. I think the kid does a tremendous job. I mean, you got to be able to game plan against him in the quarterback run game. You got to be able to game plan him in terms of rushing the passer on third down, especially. I think their third down percentage is like 44% overall right now, which is really good as an offense. And then you better be able to cover as well, and you can't just give him wide open zones and have vision on quarterback, because he's good enough to put the ball in there. So regardless of the defense, I think their special teams is doing a really nice job right now. They try to create some explosive plays there. They've got a good quarterback, so they got an explosive offense. They're a challenge for you in terms of what they can do. And case in point, last year we go up there and we go down early, right? And they have the ability to do that again.
Midway point of the season, there was a valley and then there's been a peak. You're trending in the right direction right now. How important is that for the psyche of a football team when there's a lot of football left to be played?
Well, I think it's a lot for their confidence, as a football team, just because we talk all the time about getting better, whether it's 1% or 3% better every day, and you just keep taking those steps as you go throughout the season. I think you see your guys doing that, and I think guys understand that they're getting better at their position. They're getting better within the scheme and what they have to do. I think our coaching staff's getting better. So it's nice to see that progress as you go through, and it gives you some satisfaction to say, hey, we're doing the right things, we're preaching the right things, and it gives guys confidence that if we can just continue to do that, everything that we want's out in front of us still.
Final question. Homecoming. First time you guys have been home in nearly a month.
Yeah.
Weather's supposed to be nice. The leaves are changing.
Yeah.
How important is it to come out and put your best foot forward at home in front of what we hope is going to be a nice crowd on Saturday?
Real important. I mean, it's going to be a great atmosphere. Obviously, best time of the year. The fall when the leaves are changing, it's getting a little bit colder. What football is all about, and then having the ability to play in front of a good crowd and really kind of showcase a little bit of kind of where we've come and how we've grown, and we'll challenge our guys with that obviously this week.
Did the second bye week, did it come at a good time for the football team, or as good as you guys have been playing the last 3 games, would you prefer to have been out there last Saturday?
I definitely probably would have rather been playing, but I mean, I don't think it came at a bad time. I feel like that we got some guys out, some injuries, and I just feel like some time off was good for us, but it did kind of suck just having to stop, because I feel like we was going ahead of steam and we was in a good rhythm, but I feel like it's not going to affect as much.
Saturday, when you go out against a team that doesn't have the reputation as a great defensive team, and Western Carolina has been struggling a little bit, very opposite towards last game when you guys went against an ETSU team that had been playing very well defensively. Does it change your mindset at all heading into game week, knowing that the opposing defense has had trouble?
I feel like as an offense, I feel like we try to just come out and just try to respect the team, whether or not we hear that they're good or bad or up or down this year. I feel like we have to come out and just play the same way and don't have these ideas in our head that we're going to come out and just have it handed to us.
For you personally, we've seen how you've stepped up this in your sophomore year. What was the biggest difference between your freshman year, when you're kind of adjusting to college football and college life, and this year, your sophomore year? What's been the biggest difference for you?
I would say just being confident and just coming out and knowing exactly what to do. And I feel like me, as an individual player, knowing everybody else's job and knowing what's going on around me helps me play faster and do what I'm supposed to do.
Do you like this offense? I mean, we love to watch because I don't know if you're going to get the ball at a jet sweep or go out in a pattern or get the ball out of reverse. I mean, if I'm guessing, then the defense has to be guessing. Is it fun to play in?
It definitely is because I feel like that. Like every time I come out, they're like threes on the field. So I feel like they really don't know if I'm getting the ball or if I'm just being a decoy for that play. But I feel like either way, like I have the same effect on the defense. So
When people ask you what position you play now, what do you tell them?
I usually just say slot receiver, but I feel like I do a little bit of both.
Final question. Tell them, Coach, you guys haven't played at home in almost a month. It's going to be fun to get out there in front of the home fans and, kind of do what you guys do with hopefully a real good crowd in the stands on homecoming weekend.
Right. It's definitely going to be good just to be home again, and it being homecoming, I feel like it's going to be a pretty good crowd. So I feel like we should come out. We should play Wofford football.
I'm going to ask how you handled the bye week. Would you prefer to be playing football? Did you watch some football on Saturday? What did you do with some time on your hands?
Definitely prefer to be playing football. I think we're really hitting our stride as of late, but it was also really good to get back home, rest, recover a little bit, and really see my family, which is probably the most important part.
We talked a lot about the linebacking core at the beginning of this season, how it probably is going to be the strength of the defense because you lost defensive linemen, you lost starting members of the secondary. How much have you felt that weight a little bit to kind of, especially in the early part of the season, to kind of glue the whole defense together?
Definitely coming in, I felt like we had a lot of pressure to really be like the most solid group of position group. But the young guys, D-line, young guys in the defensive backfield have really stepped it up. I mean, they've been really impressive. Getting it, staying in their playbooks, understanding the game plan, and then really executing. So, before the season, definitely felt like we had a lot of pressure. But I mean, they've definitely showed out, which has helped us.
Talking about pressure, Tyree Adams. You've gotten to look at him a few years now. What is the hardest part about defending a quarterback, an athlete, a very smart player too, out there on Saturday?
Yeah, he's definitely very experienced. I mean, he's played for a while now, and he's also just one of the most dynamic guys we have in this conference. So your technique has to be right every play, 100%, and he can make you miss. So you really just have to be sound in every play and understand when you have help and when you don't have help, and then just be ready to make a play when your time comes. So definitely looking forward to the challenge, but it definitely is a challenge as well. So,
is there ever a danger of concentrating too much on one guy? I mean, other offenses, I think Oladokin was very good for Stanford, obviously. And when you concentrate on one guy, sometimes another guy can surprise you. Is that ever a worry when you play a team that's kind of headlined by one particular guy?
You definitely don't want to get tunnel vision. But I mean, we understand. Yes, he's their main threat, but I mean, they also have some pretty good athletes as well. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to get so focused on one guy that, you just lose track of everyone else, the other 10 players. So, definitely have a focus on him, but understand that, I mean, there's 10 other guys that are playing the same game we are. So,
how about you personally in your season? How happy are you with how the way you've played? You talked about all the pressure the linebackers had. Did you kind of gauge your own performance halfway through the season?
I definitely have a few things to work on. I definitely have to watch a little more film, study and understand what I've done right, and then understand what I've done wrong and how I can fix that to really just take my game to the next level. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not really a glass half full guy. I always like to see what I can do better to really improve. So
then I'll end it with the defense as a whole. Is the glass half full defensively for the unit, considering how you guys have kind of ramped it up every week?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely over start of the season was not how we wanted to start, and I think improving every week has been huge for us. So definitely been building some confidence as a defense because last year we had a great year, and this year we had some questions to answer, and I think now we're starting to understand like what we're really capable of doing.